Hey everyone, I'm Jay.
And I'm Sean.
Sean in the shadow.
In the very shadow, yes.
So you could probably tell we're still at the cottage. Yes. And today we're doing a Disney Parks tag.
Okay.
So we went to Disney for the first time together in what, 2012? Maybe early 2013.
Yeah, 2013.
That was the first time ever for me. Sean had gone
3 times before that.
Okay,
Spoiled.
as a kid, yes. So it was my first time at the park. We were there with my 15-month-old nephew and his mom and dad, and then my other sister who was pregnant and her husband, and we had a great time. But I kind of left Disney at that point feeling like, okay, I saw it. I feel good about it. It was fun. But I didn't feel like a big call to go back.
Okay.
And then, fast forward to last February 2019, when the sister with the 15-month-old baby now had a 8-year-old son, or I guess at the time a 7-year-old son, and a 4-year-old turning 5-year-old son as well. And so they asked, would you like to go to Disney with us? And the thing is, we love those kids so much, we would go anywhere with them. Disney was just a bonus. But for some reason, and I don't know if it was because I was discovering it with the kids again, but this time I fell in love with Disney. I really fell in love with Disney. As evidenced by the fact that we went back just a few months later.
Yeah.
And we were planning to go back again with that same family this year, except for COVID happened. But anyways, 2019, we spent a lot of time at Disney. We spent more than 2 weeks at Disney.
Yeah, we did.
Even though we live in another country, so it is quite a jaunt for us. And yet, we were there quite a lot. And even though we've had to postpone this year's trip, we know we will be heading back whenever we can.
Eventually.
Yes. Okay, so let's get started. Sean.
Yes.
Which one of us is more likely to wait in line for 2 hours for an attraction?
That's me.
That is you. Yes, I agree.
Absolutely.
In fact, you have stood in line for probably
longer than that.
Yes.
Yes,
so
I have.
Slinky Dog was a long line.
Yes, it was. So that was over an hour, somewhere between 1 and 2.
Okay. Obviously, the Millennium Falcon one was quite a long line.
An hour and 20 minutes at points.
Several times, yeah.
Yeah.
What else was really... Oh, did you ever... No, you didn't stand in line for Avatar,
Avatar without a fast pass.
Matt did. And that's like a 3-hour wait.
At least, yeah.
Okay, so what was your longest line?
Mine Train. That was a long one. That was an hour and a half.
Okay, so you do a lot of... You're willing. You're willing to stand in that line.
I do like to go on all the rides, and so it's hard to get fast passes for those unless you're staying at a resort, Disney resort.
Yes. Okay, who's more likely to wait for a show in the rain?
I'd say neither of us.
Okay. Even though we have.
I feel like that's an exception.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if we want to see a show, we probably just will. I'm probably more likely to want to see the show.
Yeah,
I like a lot of the shows, and Disney World in Florida, in Orlando, has quite a few great shows.
Yeah, they do.
But the thing is, Sean is always the liner-upper. I have to give him credit for that, because I'm a wreck at Disney World because I have a chronically sore back. But also a malfunctioning ankle and flat feet. So I have a lot of problems that make Disney World a very sore place for me. And Sean has always been very generous in allowing me to wait on a nearby shady bench with a cool drink in my hand while he does all the laborious waiting in line, and sometimes in the rain if he has to.
Sometimes.
And then I join him for the final 5 minutes or whatever we can get away with. So who's more likely to ask a character for an autograph?
Jay.
Ooh. Although I never have, I've never asked for an autograph. When we went with my sister and the 2 kids, the youngest one was collecting autographs, and it was so sweet. Oh my gosh, he was really excited.
Yes.
And like normally, I mean, I wouldn't have guessed it because they're a little bit shy, but for some, like, I guess they just feel like they already know these
know
guys.
the characters.
Yeah. So they were like proudly talking to
Running
them and
up
getting
interacting.
autographs. Yeah,
It's very
was
cool.
kind of lovely.
Yeah.
So certainly for the kids, I would, but so would you. You would ask anyone for the kids.
Absolutely.
Who is more likely to wear Minnie ears?
OJ.
Of course it's me. I mean, now that they've gotten away to like these headbands with the Minnie ears, that has become very like female oriented, which is maybe not fair. I remember when I was a kid not going to Disney, but all my friends who came back had just the black
plastic
like
ones.
beanie
Yeah.
hat with like ears on top, and you could get it embroidered with your name for an extra fee, I'm sure. So that was like the classic Mickey ears.
Yep.
And it wasn't until we went back that I realized, oh, they've seen what a money-making potential this is. They have,
Every single character you could
yes,
imagine.
hundreds of ears probably released in a year. So depending on when you go, there may be different characters there, a movie that's coming out or an anniversary. And then they have like some that are inspired by Disney treats and some that are inspired by Disney parks or hotels. And sometimes they just have themes like like they had purple, I think the first time we went, and then they were doing Arendelle Aqua, and then they had rose gold, and they have a lot of ears.
a lot.
And I've bought a lot of ears.
Yes.
I like the ears. We even, the last time we went, we looked everywhere for those special edition Leia
that's
ears.
right, the Leia ears.
Yeah, and they were, usually they're like $30 American, which is still pretty pricey when you're wearing different ears every day. But these were going to be like,
80, I think.
yeah, they're going to be much more, but I wanted them, and we looked everywhere, and they had already sold out in a lot of places, so we never got any. But I do have quite a collection, and I will always be adding to it.
Absolutely.
So as for the more gender-neutral Mickey ears, they still do have some of those hats, and we got Wally and Eve hats,
That's right.
which Sean wore for nearly 30 whole seconds.
For a picture.
Yes. But it's kind of cute.
They're cute. I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not overly motivated to wear them.
No, and that's okay. Who's more likely to wear Impractical shoes?
Jay.
Yes. Despite the fact that I've just told you about all of my physical limitations at the park, and the fact that my doctor has sent me to Disney World with orthotics that we paid a lot of money for specifically for Disney, I just won't wear shoes ugly enough to fit them. I can't do it, guys. Like, I have a really cool pair of like gold Converse that I'll wear, and this is just between me and you because it's embarrassing. I have a red glitter Katy Perry pair of sneakers that are very cute. So but all of my shoes have to be very cute. I'm too proud to wear ugly shoes. And so what happens is I wind up in a wheelchair for the rest of the week. And then I can wear even cuter, even more impractical shoes, can't I? It's a win-win. That's what you call a win-win. Who's more likely to spend hours in a gift shop?
I'd say both of us.
Sure, because I shop and you pay.
No, all right. I like shopping, though. They
yes.
have some great stuff to look
I
through.
know. I'm terrible. We always end up doubling our Disney budget because of the shopping. So there's everything we spend on flights, hotels, food, and tickets, and then double that for the shopping. But as I mentioned, we have some very cute nephews and a niece, and you have to bring home, like, we actually bought a suitcase to bring home.
Suitcase.
We bought an extra suitcase in Orlando last time just to bring home all of the cool things we bought for the kids. So, you know,
Yeah,
that's how it is.
part of the game.
Yes, it is. Who's more likely to scream on a roller coaster?
You.
Yeah, I mean, this one is hard because
Go on a roller
I'm not
coaster.
going on. So in that way, you are, because I will never be on a roller coaster. But I tend to like tensely laugh more than scream. but Sean is so cool and casual on roller coasters. Like, literally, there's a great picture that they snapped on the mine train where he's just got, like, arm on the side of the train. Like, he's just enjoying a nice Sunday drive. Like, you're not even registering that you're on a roller coaster. You're just enjoying the view.
That's true. Yeah. And then we do have a video of you screaming on the Frozen ride.
Okay, that's more intense than you think. Like, I do maintain that the Frozen one is scarier than it seems, being a kid's ride. But although it was the unexpectedness, like it was my first time on the ride. We were in the back of the boat and suddenly the boat starts going backwards and I can hear a rushing noise telling me that there's a drop coming. So, did I scream? Sure. Did children laugh? Yes. But I still think it was warranted. Like, next time I could get through it, I think, much better, because I know, and it's not as bad as it sounds. But in the moment, it was terrifying. Okay, who's more likely to eat a kitchen sink by themselves?
Me.
Of course you. You're more likely to eat anything by yourself, really, except for maybe chips and dip, which are my vice.
Yeah.
Although, also, I like the pretzels. I like a Disney
they're
pretzel.
delicious. A good Mickey pretzel.
But you like that too, so I have to share. Now, we had the mini version of the kitchen sink, which is number one, Minnie Mouse, but also much smaller than the true kitchen sink, which is almost presented in a literal kitchen sink. The mini one is a little plastic sink, which is still quite a good amount of ice cream.
But it would be doable, like, as a meal of eating by yourself.
I suppose. Remember that time we got those big buckets of ice cream from Ben and Jerry's in Vermont?
The Vermonster.
Yeah, thank you, yes. I mean...
They're massive.
And you didn't finish that.
I didn't finish that.
I mean, nobody finished that.
Yeah.
But that's the fun of it. I think there's just like a shock value and an excitement in just presenting a literal mountain of ice cream. Or any treat, I suppose. Okay, who's more likely to take the ferry rather than the monorail?
I'd say both of us. We usually take the ferry.
We do. I think the only time we took the monorail was with the kids.
Yeah, when we went to Chef Mickey's.
Yeah. So they were excited. They were excited to drive through the place and see the restaurant. So, I mean, that's fun. But we are usually ferry people.
I prefer it. Mm-hmm. It's nice being outside.
What about the Sky Rail, or what's it called? Skyline?
Oh, yeah, the new
the gondola.
Thing. Yeah. I think I'd still, take a ferry over that.
I'm afraid to go on those. Like, I want to because it's a big thing and you've been hearing about it for such a long time. But, I'm afraid.
You don't want to get stuck up there.
No, but I also don't want to be moving as planned up there.
Okay.
That's also my thing. So, yeah. Who's more likely to eat popcorn over Dole Whip?
Well, that would be me, because Jay doesn't like popcorn.
That's right. I don't like popcorn. I do like the popcorn buckets that, Disney World has.
And I eat the popcorn.
Yes. And to be fair, the last couple of buckets we did give to the nephews.
Yeah, they're awesome, all those buckets.
They are.
That's another thing that you can chase down through the park. There's so many different kinds, and they'll be at, one spot for a limited time.
Uh-huh. And I was obsessed with the one that looked like Cinderella's coach.
Yeah.
And we never got it. So guys, if anybody has an in,
I do to kind of be on the question. I think Dole Whip is better than popcorn. It
depends.
Also.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a bottomless pit called his belly, but Dole Whip is refreshing. So that's a really nice treat when you're hot. And popcorn is just, you can always just be munching on popcorn.
It's true.
And our nephews actually went with the refillable bucket, so it's also a commemorative bucket, but it's not as fancy.
Yeah.
But they just attached that to their book bag and were refilling that all week long. It was a constant snack for them.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it is kind of good for kids to always have something. If you're waiting in line, you have a ready snack. Who's more likely to pin trade with another guest?
Oh, I guess it'd be me, because you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, this one is, we're very, very low risk of this, both of us. I have quite a few pins now, but I buy them because I want them and like them and
Not to trade.
intend to keep them. And last time we were there, we spent at least $300 on pins to bring back for the kids, of course.
Who do like pin
Who
trading.
do like pin trading. Yeah, our nephew Brady really got into it with his dad, and then his brother caught on as well. But, you know, they have no sense of the value or...
They just want new pins.
They just like the transaction.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you can go up to, like... And I don't know that they did a whole lot with other guests. They were mostly doing it with park employees. But there was one guy at Disney World, I think it was at Magic Kingdom, who had a lanyard just heavy with them. And he told the kids, you can have whatever one you like. And this guy, he obviously must be an Orlando resident. He's a annual pass holder, I'm sure, and is there quite a lot. And he just likes the social aspect of it, obviously. He's not in it for the value either. And he gets to talk to, I mean, you get to talk to a lot of people doing that.
Starter. Yep.
So it's kind of sweet that way, I think.
I agree. It's a cool activity.
Yeah. Who's more likely to talk to other guests?
Neither of us.
I think it definitely is going to have to be me because I attract a lot of conversation my way because
you'll have a nice dress on and your matching ears
and my cool shoes.
That's true.
And people always stop to tell me, "Oh, I like your hair. I love your dress." So I end up engaging in conversations all over the place. And of course, it's one thing if you're just both walking by, but if you're in line with people, that just starts the conversation, and then, you know, your whole life story comes up. By the time you reach the beginning of a ride, you really could have, you know, fallen in love and then broken up. Like, it's quite...
It's a while.
Yeah. Who's more likely to spend the most on souvenirs?
Jay.
I mean, yeah. That's true. I mean, again, you're the one who pays. I'm the one who picks up all the shit. So, depending how you look at it. I mean, really, we buy the souvenirs because they're mostly not for either of us.
Yep.
Who's most likely to take the longest in bag check line?
Jay. I don't have a bag because Jay has the bag.
I carry the tote. The big bad tote. But I must say, once again, Sean is always taking one for the team.
Oh yeah, that's true.
When I am struggling, and bag check is the first thing in the morning, but he's like, conserve your energy, you go through the no bag line, which is much quicker moving, and then I get to sit, and he takes on the bag check line. So it is technically my bag, it is Kate Spade, and it is glitter rose gold. There's no doubt that is my tote, but Sean is the one who spends the time in line. So thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
It's very nice of you. Who's most likely to stay for fireworks?
I guess me.
Okay. Like, the thing is...
You don't like fireworks.
I do not care for fireworks. But... Hey, Mom. I don't like I don't see the point of every Canada Day going to see fireworks. The technology behind fireworks has not changed since ancient China. So I feel like if you've seen one fireworks show, you've seen them all, and it's not for me. Disney fireworks are a different beast because, you know, especially when you're in Magic Kingdom, you're at the castle, and they do so much more than fireworks. You know, they're projecting lights and music on the castle. Tinkerbell is flying. Some, you know, depending on what show it is, you know, the ladies from Frozen are there to light up. Like, there's a whole show that goes into it, and there's all the beautiful Disney music that you know and love. And I will stay for that show for sure. And actually, I find it quite beautiful and have been moved almost to tears by that show before because it is something to see. Of course, they tend to do that after dark. I don't know if you've heard that about fireworks. And if we have been in the parks all day, and we will do 12-hour days.
Yeah, easily.
I mean, for a lot of people, it's hard. It's hard to stay all the way to fireworks. And I have to find a place where I can sit at that point because I'm never in any shape to stand there, and that's hard. Who's most likely to get up early for a rope drop?
We've never done the rope drop.
We are not early risers, but we do. When
We've been
we're there for
early.
Disney, we do get there early. But we're not. I'm certainly not going to get there to race
Wait,
people to a ride, because we've been through the many reasons why I am not going to be able to race. So I'm certainly not going to torture myself getting up extra early just to still be at the back of the line. That makes no sense to me. So we are not rope droppers.
We try and get there just after the rope drop.
Yeah,
has
just
led
after
in.
that first big crowd has
Yeah.
gone in. So, yeah, that's it for us. Not a rope drop family.
No.
No. So, yeah, we are missing the parks,
Yes, we are.
and we are here at the cottage with my two sisters, or two of my three sisters, 2/3 of my sisters, and about half my mother. And we are all talking about how sad we are to miss Disney this year.
Yes.
But I'm sure, you know, as soon as we get COVID under control, maybe get a nice vaccine going. You know, we were looking at the numbers, and honestly, there were more deaths in Florida yesterday than there were new cases in Ontario. So Florida is
Yeah.
really struggling. Like a lot of the U.S., there are a lot of hot
It
spots
is.
there. It is not a safe country to go to, and we will just not take that risk.
No.
Never mind the fact that our border is still closed, because we know how badly hit the U.S. is.
Yeah.
So we're not letting Americans in. I heard we're even cracking down on those claiming to be going to Alaska.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a funny loophole. It is a necessity, but
Yeah.
still.
No
Gotta
thank
be
you,
careful.
guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
No offense. but
Yeah.
Get your stuff under control, and we'll see you later.
Yeah. So we are missing Disney. We're
Yeah, we
missing
are.
the possibility of Disney, because certainly we would be talking about it and planning it and booking our restaurants and making our fast passes,
Yeah.
and it wasn't to be for this year, but it'll be there. It'll
Yeah.
be there for all of us after this pandemic,
Yeah.
and we look forward to that.
Yes, we do.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.
Bye.